WQEE 99.1 FM The Key, home of Southern sports and talk. Noonan, Sharpsburg, Franklin.
Moving is a big decision. Selling or buying a home in any market, but especially today's, can raise a lot of questions. Hi, I'm Amy with Killingsworth Realty. My husband Todd and I serve the Coweta and local area. Our purpose at our first meeting is to learn your goals, answer questions, and provide resources so that you can make the best decision for you and your family. 678-525-0047 to schedule a free consultation today to discuss your real estate needs. You don't have to do this alone.
Shopping for insurance doesn't have to be stressful. I'm Christy, owner of Ellsworth Insurance, located here in Newnan, Georgia. We're an independent agency with access to multiple carriers for home, auto, life, health, and commercial insurance. We're your one-stop shop for your insurance needs. www.insurewithellsworth.com 770-755-7053. We look forward to meeting you soon.
This is Margie from Connecting Hearts Network. I'd like you to take just a moment and listen to Linda Kirkpatrick explain to you what Family Patterns Matters is all about.
Family Patterns Matter works with youth and their families to help overcome barriers that prevent their success. We meet twice a month with mentoring, tutoring, teaching life skills, resilience, gratitude, and kindness. We also bring music and art therapy. Please visit our website at www.familypatternsmatter.org.
Hello, I'm Pina Payne with Contour Mortgage, and we're so excited. We have just moved to this new company, and we are located at 560 Noonan Crossing Bypass in Noonan next to Art and Jake's, and we have some great products. Our interest rates are better than any other companies, and we also have some great products for the VA. We can do a better deal for you with fees than any other company. We have a lot of different kind of programs.
Are you looking for that special gift this year for your daughter, sister, mother, grandmother, or best friend? Give the gift of safety and self-defense. Hi, I'm Holly Reese, founder of Warrior Defenders. As a certified tactical self-defense instructor, I specialize in women's self-defense. Classes are weekly, in-person, or schedule a seminar. Online courses are available. You can shop self-defense products and tools on my website, warriordefenders.com. I'm here to help you customize the perfect gifts for the ones you love.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele. It's now time for Heart to Heart Radio, presented by Connecting Hearts Network, connecting women to one another and resources. Now here's your host, Margie Conway.
Good morning. I am Margie Conway from Creative Heart Studios, and this is the Connecting Hearts Network program. Today we're going to talk with Leilani Ferreira. She is the owner of Holy Snips in Sharpsburg. She is great hairdresser. She is a great personality, someone that I really enjoyed meeting and speaking with. But today we are going to let Holly interview her for scheduling reasons, and I think that you'll enjoy what they're saying. They're talking about how just improving your appearance with a haircut can boost your self-confidence and help you even in major situations. And there's one interesting study by Roper and Berry in 2016 that found having a haircut improved your mental well-being, including your confidence. The results suggest that it's not as much as a haircut as the social interaction that you get with your hairdresser or in the barbershop. And that is one thing our hairdressers do often get us talking about what's going on with us so that we have a way to sound it out. And that is always healthy for you. But, it's interesting to notice that there is scientific proof when a woman decides to make changes in her life, sometimes the very first thing they do is cut their hair. Change the style of it, change the way that they're wearing it. And some reasons that it does that is it increases your confidence. It gives you a boost. And primary in that is because it's a form of self-care, that you are paying some attention to yourself. Those that have gotten into deep depression and stuff, we stop with the grooming, you stop with the daily bath, you stop with washing and combing your hair. You stop maintaining your body. And when you do that, it just really lowers you even deeper into that pit that you're going to. So some of the first things that we do when we're trying to climb out of depression or we're trying to recoup from a hospital visit or something, the first thing we always want to do is get up and take a shower. Wash your face, wash your hair, put on clean clothes, and sometimes to put on the nicer, blingier clothes, it makes you feel better. One thing that we even run around with hats that says bad hair day, and that always means don't talk to me. I'm probably not in a good mood. Even my hair didn't participate today. So, we're here to help you promote finding joy and peace in your life. And it may seem talking about haircuts is a little frivolous, but it's some of these things that are necessary, not frivolous, to us for our self-care. And if it takes putting on the blingy jewelry like Cindy has told us, or having your hair done just to boost your confidence a little bit, to get you to take that extra step, it is well worth maintaining it. There are 7 ways, or there's even more, but some of the ways that a haircut can boost confidence in men or women is it improves your self-care, including looking after your hair and in your body, and it boosts your self-esteem. It helps you climb out of that pit. A new hairstyle can help you feel good about yourself, and it may project a more confident image. It's often noticed by others and can attract compliments, which is good for your level of confidence. A change in hairstyle that a new haircut can bring can often cause others to respond to you in a more positive way, and that helps boost your confidence. Many believe that hairstyles are part of your personality, so trying out a new haircut can help you experiment and find a new you in life. Now, I've done that several times because I used to wear my hair way down below my hips and didn't let anybody cut it. But then at some points in my life, I've gotten it cut up to shoulder length, and it is different. It makes you feel different about yourself. A new haircut can attract the attention of friends, even of the opposite sex, and that helps you feel a lot better about yourself. And it expresses your desire for change, so it can show that you're ready for the next step. And, even a lot of the movies portray that. They cut their hair off. And, it is something we can do in solidarity. Is when we find that we have cancer and we're going through chemo and lose your hair, often we just take control of it and we're going to shave our head and get it over with so we can be in charge of what happens in our life. One funny story about hair is my Aunt Brenda. She suffered from colon cancer, and she was one of these people that always dyed their hair. She had her black hair, her red lipstick, her perfect shoes and pocketbook matches, and she was not going to let anything change that, no matter what happened during the day. As she started her cancer treatment, she lost her hair, and that really was a blow, which it is to most people. But as her hair started growing back, it all came in white. She had gray hair. She called me very, very upset because she said, "Look what that chemo did to my hair. It's turned it all gray." And reality was she'd been dyeing it for so long, it was probably already gray, but she just never gave it a chance to show its true colors. I have a son in Spain at the moment. He called me yesterday to let me know he dyed his hair electric blue. And I know he's had a lot of downtime lately in his life, and now he's ready to charge it up and to change things a little bit. So I hope that as you listen to it, you find that, it's a way, taking care of ourselves with self-care is important to us, even through haircuts, and maybe it'll encourage you a little bit or help you notice those around you. Some of the first things women do is change their hair when something's going on, something bad or something good. And so, just pay a little bit more attention to those around you. And I hope you enjoyed today's show. Talk to you next time, Margie.
Good morning and welcome to Connecting Hearts with Margie Conway. I am your co-host today, Holly Reese with Warrior Defenders, and I'm privileged to be joined today with Leilani with Holy Snip Hair Salon. Welcome, Leilani.
Hello, Holly. How are you?
I am good. We are here going to be talking about how important it is for women to take care of their hair, why it's so emotionally connected, and why it's so important, especially in Domestic Violence Awareness Month, to bring this to a fore, because this has a connection that a lot of people really don't understand. A lot of people see women cutting their hair and all this after things, but we're going to go into why that is later in the show. But tell me a little bit about your salon and you and your life that you want to share with us today.
My name is Leilani, of course. Thank you so much for having me. I am the owner of Holy Snip Hair Salon, and I have women in my chair every day. I've been doing hair over 20 years, and I have women in my chair every day that have perfectly healthy lives and some not so perfect. And I guess I've had a lot of things happen in my life that I can relate to many people. And it can start as simple as looking at someone's scalp and noticing that they have buildup or that it's really not clean. And, I'll ask them about their routine, and we can end up in a conversation that I had no intentions of going. But I learned things like, well, I've really neglected myself because I've been in this relationship, but now I'm out of it and I just want to take better care of myself. What can I do? And I mean, all of a sudden I'm overwhelmed with feelings of the trust that people put into me when they're sitting in my chair. It's a vulnerable it's a vulnerable place to be. I'm seeing you with your hair looking all crazy, and and I'm in your space. I'm in your personal space. I'm close to you, and people tend to open up and talk about things, and I never take that for granted. My tagline is "Love is in the hair," and I really mean that with my heart. Is that I put a lot of love in what I do, because it's never just a haircut.
Yeah, it's a piece of us, especially as women. It's a piece of us, and that I'm one of those. When I go to the hair salon, I'm wearing the baseball hat and I'm hiding it, and then when you leave, you're fabulous, and it really does connect to our emotional well-being. It pulls us down if we're in a bad place, and it brings us up. Like if you're having a self-care day and you get your nails and your hair and all that done, and it makes you feel great. But there are things that I have heard about, like trauma affects the hair, stress and trauma. Have you noticed that in your industry? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, hygiene is a big thing, but also just letting it go. For me personally, cutting my hair off was, I had to realized that it did not identify who I was just because of my long, beautiful hair that everybody complimented on all the time. And, oh, you don't need to cut your hair. And in my relationship with my son's father, he really loved my long hair and he didn't want me to cut it. And after I left, I was like, you know what? This hair is nothing. It does not identify who I am. And I decided to cut it off, and it is gone. Yeah, and it's beautiful short too, but I have seen the pictures of the long hair, and it was very pretty, but you do identify that with a past relationship. I remember when I left my ex, I had long hair. It was almost required because he never wanted me to cut it off. And as soon as I left, I felt like it was time to chop it all off, and I went really high, tight, buzz cut situation for years, and it was all gone. And one day I heard a story from a lady who had been through a domestic violence, and she had cut off all her hair, was barely there, like you couldn't even grab it. And she let it grow out. And somebody asked her, why? Why are you finally letting it grow out? Because now I feel safe. I'm empowered. I can take care of myself. Now, sometimes when we cut our hair off, we never bring it back because it's just easier to cut it off. Yeah. So there are days I miss that. But there's just other days like when you just want to keep your hair long. So just if it's giving you a hard time, put it up in a bun or something. Don't cut it off if it's long unless you want to. But a lot of times women, they go through like changing their hair color or cutting it off when they go through a traumatic experience. And you mentioned that you had gone through that as well, but your hair does not identify who you are. And along with domestic violence awareness in October, it's also breast cancer awareness, and a lot of women go through that traumatic losing their hair when they're going through breast cancer as well. So it's really hurts us as women when our hair is affected.
Absolutely. because we want it to be beautiful. It's part of being a female. You have your locks, but
they're not required.
They're not required,
No.
yeah. And I really felt like that was required of me to keep my long hair.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I kept it back in a ponytail all the time. I got headaches. Like, I didn't want to have all this long hair, but yeah, it was pretty much required. As with a lot of things that were required. I wasn't physically abused, but the abuse was definitely sexual.
Mm-hmm.
There was definitely financial.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember when he took all the money out of the account, I went to go get gas and it was 84 cents.
Oh my.
He would cancel my son and my health insurance if I didn't do what he wanted.
And that's control, and that's part of relationships and domestic violence. Abuse, a lot of people don't realize it's not just physical. Most of the time that's all they ever recognize, but there's a lot of financial, sexual, and emotional trauma.
And verbal.
Yes. It's very hard to get over those because people don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And it affects the kids, it affects the parents, it affects the mom, it affects everything around you. It affects your friendships. And it's something that women, we are good at hiding how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's very freeing for them to come and sit in your chair and talk.
Absolutely. I've had some women in my chair that their scalp was still bruised from abuse that they went through, and they scour down in the chair and not really wanting to talk and ashamed, and somehow it happens where they talk, and I can't tell you how many times people are in my chair that just want someone that they can trust, that they know is not going to repeat it, that their hair is the reason that they came to me, but there's more to their story, and being that I have some testimonies of how I've gotten through things, and I'm shaking right now. But it's just empowering to me. I think the healing goes both ways. Mm-hmm. And I've had women that have patches of hair missing from their head from being pulled out and ripped out.
And they're embarrassed to go because then they have to admit it happened, and we're taught that it's a shameful thing, but it's only shame for the men who have done this to us. That's what we need to realize. It's not that we're guilty of anything when we're abused in a relationship, and that's hard to get over. And all you ladies out there, even if you're not going through something, if you want to be comfortable in a chair, you need to come out here and see Leilani, because she is definitely going to be very loving and understanding with you in the chair. So I'm just going to put that out there right now.
Thank you.
But there's, I remember once my head got cut open, and I would never have let anybody know that back then. So if I wasn't going to a hair salon, I did everything at home. And if I had an appointment with a hair salon at that time, I would have canceled it because of embarrassment. Mm-hmm. To be like, you have a big gash in your head, where'd that come from? And any other salon might not understand, and if you know anybody that's going through anything like that, Leilani will understand. And
you're safe with me.
Yeah, very safe. and her salon is very secure as well, and private. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I have a small size salon suite, and my shampoo bowl is in my suite. I also do a steam towel, scalp massage, shoulder and neck massage. It's an intimate experience, and it is a secure building. You have to be buzzed in. I have a camera to see who it is that's coming in. There's cameras inside, so it's just a very safe, secure place. It also does not have my name on the outside. It has Casey Salon Suites, because I'm one of the suite owners inside. So if anybody knew you were going to Holy Snip, they wouldn't know from the outside of the building. So there's a lot of security you can feel by being here. And my door can stay open or closed, whatever you're comfortable with, and we can talk about whatever. And we don't have to talk. also. We can just be, and sometimes just being can be more therapeutic than anything.
You listen to music, watch it. She has a fabulous TV with a fish tank on it that I love to watch. And the fact that you can close the door and just be free to share is really nice, because especially when you go to a big salon, you got all these people around, you feel like you're being looked at. I mean, like, it's the same as going to
you can't talk.
Right, you can't talk because somebody's going to overhear you, and maybe you just want to sit there and cry because your hair was damaged and now it's beautiful, and you can have that type of an experience in a what would you call intimate salon, like Holy Snip. And I love the fact that it can be that way for you and for your clients, because not only do you get pampered with the back massage and hot towel and all of that, but you're getting the whole relaxation part that you deserve.
Absolutely.
And that's something that, self-care is not selfish. And especially when you're coming out of a bad relationship like that, it's not selfish to say, hey, I need to get my hair done somewhere where she's going to make me look beautiful, and I do want to cut it off, because ladies, let me tell you something, it is so freeing to cut your hair off.
Oh yeah.
Once you've been through something, it's like, yes, because that just feels like something they controlled you with. It's just one of those things you have to change. And once you make that step to cut your hair, which is a big emotional step, once you make that step, you can make other steps in your life. Absolutely. Did you feel that way when you cut your hair off?
So much so.
Yeah.
Yes.
It just moved forward from there.
Oh yeah. There were so many different changes that I made. One of them, for instance, is I went to work at a place that catered to men, because he was very, very jealous, and I thought, I can do whatever I want to. I've already cut my hair off. And so I did. I went and worked at a place like that, fell in love with men's grooming, so I also do that in addition to taking care of my female women.
Yes, and it's educational, for the men to come in here to learn, because some men just they try really hard and they do not know how to take care of their hair. They just don't, and their beards, right?
True story.
Oh.
Yes.
And some of these guys would look really good if their beard was like trimmed a little better, but they don't know how. And what's interesting about you is that you can actually educate men and women. This is why your hair lays the way it does. This is what the men can learn about their hair. This is how we can make them look a little bit better and not like scruffy mutts.
That's right.
Right? Yeah. So, and not to say that all men, but there's a lot of hardworking men out there who just don't know how to, they wear hard hats and they wear wraps on their head all day, and their hair gets damaged from that. And you have products and things that can help with that.
That's right.
And ways to teach them how to wash their, don't use body wash in your hair.
Or bar soap.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of guys will do that, and it dries out their hair and their scalp, and it's...
Yeah, depending what products you're using, that's very important for whoever your stylist is if they have the knowledge of the products that are going to work best for your hair and your hair texture. I do scalp treatments. I also do deep conditioning treatments, and I have products for men and women, depending on what they need.
And she's talking about the products for men and women, something I really appreciate that you do, because it was very important for me when I was leaving my ex, that there was a lot of triggers. And smells are a strong trigger for some people. And what I love about what you do is you're like, I have this product, I want you to smell it before I put it on your hair. That way, the women especially don't have any triggers that come up while they're got their hair done, and they're sitting there and they got the smell in their hair now that they don't like. Right. So you've already covered that basis by saying, hey, let's see if you like this smell. And of course you have other products that don't like that. So I think that shows the love that you share with your clients and understanding, because you've been there. And I just think that's so important. And you don't get that at those major salons either. It's hard to find a place like this, especially for survivors. to get through, and just breast cancer and abuse. It's all the same.
Yeah, I really cherish this space that we have, and I want it to be healing if that's what someone needs. So the steam towel, I have women that don't want all that. No, I don't need all that. I'm like, but you need to take some time for some pampering. And for my men, I'll remind them, you need to take some time for some mampering.
Mampering. I like that. The mampering. Yeah. It's so true.
Yeah, because people forget about themselves. And if I'm offering you a shoulder massage, not all people are touchy-feely, and I get that. But sometimes people just don't think they deserve it, that they don't need that to take care of themselves. But it's just a little something special that we each need to be conscious about and do something for ourselves, even if it is just getting our hair washed.
Yeah, because getting your hair washed is different than washing it at home.
That's right.
When we're at home, we wash our hair in the shower, and we're like, gotta do this and that, and keep going, and don't think about it. And then when you're getting your hair done, you're like, hey, this feels good. I don't have to do this. And deep cleaning scalp massages are like amazing. And you just have to take that time to do it. And you're already here, you might as well get it all done anyway. But there are some women that you've had in your chair that just don't want to be touched or would flinch with shoulder massages and things.
That's right. Oh yeah, they kind of move away, and it's almost like a not to compare with animals, but an animal that's been abused. You can't just reach out and pet it. They're going to kind of come away because they think you're going to hit them possibly or kick them. They're going to be more skittish and pull away. And I can pick up on those cues. And I'm not saying I'm always right and that it's always verbalized in either direction that the person's sharing with me or we're talking about anything specific. But I can just pick up on these little things that seem that they may be in trouble, that they may be going through something, or they already have been in something. But yeah, the tears come down, and I don't even know how our conversation gets to where it goes, but I think it has a lot to do with just the environment that's here in the salon. It's a very tranquil. I play instrumental. Chill is the station that I always have on. Unless you want to listen to something crazy and wild, we can do that too.
Yeah, so it's really entirely customized to you. Yeah, and for years after my ex, I couldn't even hug people. So it's definitely something, if you have never experienced it, being touched by another human after that is something that really has to be worked up to. It's not something that just happens like overnight. A lot of people think, oh, well, you're out of that relationship, nothing's going to happen to you now, but the brain has to heal from that trauma, and you have to be used to and being in a trusted environment to be able to say, okay, maybe I can step out of my comfort zone. There's so many people who have said, way back in the day, we've never seen you walk up and hug a stranger. And I'm like, yeah, but it takes time. So when you're first getting out of that and you're getting your hair cut, and you might not want to be touched, but, you're never going to force it on somebody, but it's definitely an offer. And I've been in rooms with my self-defense classes where women are like, all of a sudden they didn't think that would trigger them, and then we'll just start crying, and it's a safe environment for us to experience that.
I've always felt that way in your classes.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, Holly.
I try hard to make sure nobody feels forced or intimidated, and I love to be around businesses, women-owned businesses, to be able to share that with other people, because women-owned businesses understand that, and that's why we need to market to other women, and that's why with the Connecting Hearts, we connect each other with other women. So it's a great way to share experiences with people on how, like, if you aren't comfortable in a salon, maybe you haven't been in a hair salon in a while because you're embarrassed your hair's thin, or you've got bad dandruff, or you've just a lot of people I know went through with COVID. A lot of people lost their hair, and I didn't know that was a side effect, but they were embarrassed to go to a hair salon. So this is definitely the place if you ever feel like you don't want to be in a big salon with all these people with gorgeous hair who have no problems, you know, just like when you go to a gym, there's these gorgeous women with no problems, and you don't know, you know, how they're feeling themselves, but we're always self-conscious about ourselves. So I know quite a few people who don't want to go. Either they feel they don't want to be out in public, or that's also a good place for this too. If you have somebody in your life that was agoraphobic, who doesn't want to leave the house, getting them out, because I didn't leave the house. I only left the house once a month. I mean, it was just really hard for me to leave the house. Coming to a place like Holy Snip is safer because you can contact Leilani. She can meet you at the door to let you in. You're safe coming in. You know the door is locked behind you. Nobody's going to look at you, and it's a safe place. And so if you have like any type of social anxiety, this is the perfect environment for that. And I think you set up a great place for that.
Thank you. I try to. I try.
There's a lot of people that I meet out there that really have trouble finding a good place to go.
And I have a lot of women that come back because, you know, at first it was just about the haircut. And then after that, they feel more comfortable with me and they start opening up. And then I learn why in the first place that they even cut all their hair off. Yeah. Or the first time that they tried a new style that they never did before because they felt they can start over. They can do something different and be in control. Mm-hmm. So it's very healing.
It's definitely like, it's so, I don't want to overdo the emotional, but it really is. I mean, somebody will come in here and the next time they'll say, hey, by the way, I was going through this last time and this is how my hair felt. And I know that you love to see them shine and sparkle after their haircut. It's like before and afters in their eyes.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing the transformations that I can see just from a simple haircut, just from a simple experience. Being pampered, but the whole hair thing it's more than just hair. Mm-hmm. It's more than just hair, and that's something that I love, that I have that privilege of people sitting in my chair and allowing me to take care of them and allow themselves to be taken care of. Mm-hmm. Being loved is often the most difficult after, would you agree, that loving yourself,
yeah,
finding that love and accepting other people to love you. It's not something that we're accustomed to.
No.
So it takes a while.
It does, and it's not like you feel unworthy. You feel guilty. You feel like everything is your fault. They make you feel that way.
Undeserving.
Yes, and don't deserve anything good.
Mm-mm.
And it's almost like, well, it's gaslighting. And we get it in our head. I mean, I had Stockholm Syndrome and PTSD. And it's not something that you can easily just push aside.
Oh, I saw my therapist earlier today because I struggle with PTSD, mm-hmm. along with some other diagnosis from my experience just growing up. I mean, I had a lot of trauma growing up, and I think that's possibly why I got into dysfunctional relationships, more than one. I'm 45 and I've been married 3 times, and now I'm happily single and have been since 2019.
Happily single,
happily
I love it.
Single. I don't want to make room for anybody extra in my life. Mm-hmm. I go to your classes, Holly, and I look forward to that every single week, going to your self-defense classes. And like I said, my abuse was not physical, so the self-defense that I'm learning from you isn't necessarily because of that, but it's in general that if I ever were to be in a situation, no matter what it is or who it's with, I would be able to take care of myself, mm-hmm. and having that confidence as well. So
that's exactly. I never want anybody to have to use what I teach. I just want them to know how to do it. So it's an all package. I mean, it really is. I mean, taking care of yourself, healing your mind, making sure that you get the the help that you need. There is so many people out there I know that you've touched. Can you think of like a story without being specific of people that come to mind when you think about certain experiences, maybe not stories, but just experiences? Because I know you got out of the big salon that you catered to men and you went to the smaller, intimate one because you wanted to share that love.
Mm-hmm. I've had women, well, one that comes to mind, she was super special, and this is where I keep things. Mm-hmm. I hold on to stories and I don't share.
See,
so it's kind of hard.
Like, she's not going to tell you
just open up.
Anything that happens in Holy Snip stays in Holy Snip, right? That's what we're talking about with so intimate, situations. I know we can talk about our experiences. We can talk about a whole bunch of stuff that happened during the 2020. This comes to mind because we're talking about experiences and all this. How many women decided to go gray in 2020? And that was also like accepting who they were. And that I was a big advocate for going gray.
Oh, when you got it.
Yeah, and anybody who wants to go gray, go gray. Okay, go natural, go gray. A lot of that involves like cutting off your hair too, because you got to clean up the old roots and the hair dye if you had it in there and things like that. And I'm a big advocate for that. And there was a lot of women out there who were afraid to go gray, and that goes back to, it's not part of us. Our hair is not us. It's part of us, but it's not us. It's not your identity. As much as many people think that my purple hair is my identity, it's not. If I was to cut it off tomorrow, I would still be me.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was definitely how it affected me when I cut my hair off. It's not my identity.
Yeah, so it's just a wonderful thing to be able to have this option here, to be able to say, hey, and like it was so scary for me to get my hair cut when I first left him, because I didn't want to be out in public to begin with, and you go to this big hair salon and there's all these people, and then you have to kind of like tell the person how you want your hair when you don't even know how you want your hair, and all these people around, and it's noisy, especially if you have anxiety to being in public. You're not really good with the noise. And to be able to find literally a hidden treasure like Holy Snip is such a good thing for people that are going through so much, not just the domestic violence survivor, the breast cancer, the social anxiety, the agoraphobia. There's a whole list of reasons why this is such a hidden treasure. And I know there's a lot of other like salons like this, like little salons that are inside salons, but I've been to some of them, and I really like the way this one is so secluded. And really not really secluded, because it's right on 34.
That's right. Right on Highway 34.
Is it Sharpsburg or Thomas Crossroads?
It's Sharpsburg.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
But we're just a hop, skip, and a jump to Thomas Crossroads.
Yeah, and then after you get your hair cut, you go to Starbucks right down the street.
Starbucks, yep.
And
just Dollar Tree, Taco Bell, KFC. I'm directly across the street from Taco Bell and KFC in the shopping strip with Third Eye Tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's that little strip on the right, y'all. This little strip on the right that you would be like, I didn't know it existed. Mm-hmm. And it's not that far from other places where you can go, but it's also away from everything else. You don't have any windows, which makes it really secluded too.
Yeah, but lots of mirrors, so it seems like you kind of have windows. But,
and fancy mirrors. and that way you're completely secluded. Yeah. So if you're not like,
you don't have to worry about somebody looking in on you.
Exactly.
Watching you from the parking lot. Oh my gosh. My ex used to follow me, and I would drive out, and all of a sudden he's at a stop sign right there, coincidentally. I mean, he's right outside the building, coincidentally. And it was, here Yep, like we were talking about, it is secluded. You have to be buzzed in. I greet you at the door, and it's a safe place.
That was what I was looking for, like way back in the day. I always went, I know you're not supposed to do patterns, but back then that's all I knew. And I would go to certain gas stations where I knew I'd feel safe. I would go to certain grocery stores where I knew the clientele. I would the workers. I would know the workers by name, because if anything were to happen, I knew who I could talk to. And it was always like searching out. Like, I would only go to a certain bagel place. I would only go to a certain bank location. And if I didn't, and if it was not in my realm of comfort, I did not go. And
I can understand that.
Yeah, and it's you need to have that from a comfort part. And even the vet's office, I mean, because I have dogs, I'd have to go to a certain vet. Like, if you changed the vet on me, I wasn't happy anymore, because I'm like, I don't know who you are, so it's important. And I like small businesses because we get to know people. We get to connect with them, and we get to learn about you, and you get to learn about me, and that's what's so fun about it. And you're supporting a small business too. You're supporting, a mom who went through so much to get where she is today, who can support other moms. And if you have a small business, you can tell her about it too, like I do mine, and there's a big connection there. And that's why we do the show, so we can connect with our heart with other people. So it's just so important, especially in today's world when we are lost in a lot of stuff. So what I'm thinking that I know my husband loves to come up here and have his hair done with you.
I love having him in my chair.
Yeah, so he's learned so much from you. He makes sure he has like the right pillowcase, which is important, and all of that for your hair, and doesn't use the body wash anymore on his head and all that. So I mean, I just kind of laugh, but it's a good thing, because I'm not sure if it causes baldness in people if they use certain things on their hair or not, but you can damage your roots by doing stuff.
Yeah, I actually spend a lot of time with consultations, because I want to make sure that you're going to get what you want and what you need, and whatever your goals are. But my consultations are pretty extensive, because there's a lot that goes into it. I want to make sure your pH is balanced on your scalp and in your hair, with the proper products, shampoo, conditioner. And just because I have a certain product does not mean it's the absolute best that's out there. I've been in this business too long to tell you that what I have is the absolute best, but I know what works, and I know what works for you. So I think...
Yeah, you're not a product pusher, but you have some educational stuff here that can really help people. A lot of people think when they go to a salon that they have to buy that product that's there. But once you have it on your hair and it's actually working, might as well just keep it.
And that's in my consultation. I'll ask them, what do you use? And if they say they use Pantene or whatever, and their scalp looks great, their hair is in good condition, I'm like, okay. And I think it says on the bottle, used by professionals, so okay. Maybe it's okay, but if your scalp is not okay and your hair is not okay, then I'm going to educate you on something that's going to work a little better.
Well, just like with food, not everything works with the same person, same thing with hair. I remember when he told you, I just used bar soap or body wash in my hair. It was so funny.
I said, no. No, we're not going to do that anymore.
No, and that's what I just was like. Okay, that's interesting, because I learned stuff too. I didn't know certain things that you had told him about, like how you sleep and how that affects your hair and all this. And ladies, if you have long hair, it helps when you tie it up and you put the bonnet on the top of the hair to prevent breakage.
Yeah, satin bonnet helps. Satin pillowcase helps. But yeah, when you have very long hair, you want to tie it up, and not too tight, and you don't want to tie it up in the same spot on your head every time, because that can cause breakage. It can cause, you just want to kind of move it around wherever you tie your hair up. But yeah, satin pillowcases can help with breakage. Is
Yeah.
that what your husband has?
Now, yes.
He really did it. Does he use the shampoo massage brush?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Yes. So yeah, he really did it. He was very concerned that his father went bald. So I know that's hereditary most of the time. He doesn't want that to happen to him, so he's taking good care of his hair because it's not long, but although it can get long, it doesn't see you enough, but. It's definitely something that is good for, and if you want to send, your husband, your boyfriend out here, it's also good for them too. So it's just an all-around little quaint space that I just love. And I was thrilled to meet Leilani years ago. So it's been like an ongoing, and I just think that most people need to know that you're here.
Yeah, and they need to know also that because I cater to men, I don't always keep my door shut.
Very true.
And I keep my self-defense tools hanging near, just in case I need to use them.
Exactly. So that's also a safe environment for you that you've created, because although you want to never think that people are out for the worst intentions, some people can think differently and misunderstand some things or something, and it's best to keep your security up. If I was to analyze the safety of her salon, I know that she's safe here, and I know that the clients that she has are safe here, because I do the in-home security analyst and business security analyst, and it's I don't see anything that needs to be changed in the salon for safety. So she's covered. She's got you covered too if you feel like your ex may follow you somewhere like you experienced in your life. They're not going to get to you here, and she knows how to take care of herself, and she knows how to dial 911 too. So but you need to take care of yourself and be alert at all the times of your surroundings, and when you're getting pampered or taken care of, you don't want to have to be looking over your shoulder.
No, you don't.
And wondering who's going to walk through the door next. And that is definitely, like with PTSD especially, it's always on your mind.
Yes, it is. And we have alarms. Maybe you just heard it in the background. But we have alarms on the doors, so when you open them, they make sound. And I'm always conscious about what I'm hearing, who's coming and going. Somebody does have to let someone in, so they can't just walk in. But I'm still very conscious when other suite owners have clients. Who are they, and where are they going? Are they going in the right room?
Right, because there's quite a few here, and they all have to go by the same protocol of letting somebody in the front door. That door stays locked like all the time, so it's not something that you have to worry. Well, what if they didn't lock the door behind them?
That's right.
It locks behind them.
It locks.
And so sometimes you hear people coming in, and sometimes you don't. So
That's
it
right.
just depends. But you can tell us, you said you were in the business for 20 years?
Yes, actually, I was born into it. My mom has been doing hair since 1968, and we always had a salon in our home. So growing up, I was actually the shampoo girl in her salon at the age of 12. That was my job, was to shampoo everyone's hair. So when I get into my shampoos and get to massaging your scalp, I have some years of experience with that.
Yeah, you did it during the beehive years, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of hairspray to get out of somebody's hair.
Well, my mom did it during the beehive years. 68, yeah. She's been doing it since 68.
So you were shampooing all that hairspray? Oh,
shampooing,
my.
And the little old ladies with their teased out hair. And all that. Shampoo and all that.
That was an exotic time.
Oh, wow.
To be brought up in the hair industry.
Yep. And all my friends, they have like one can of hairspray or one gel, and I walk into the salon in our home and I have everything that you can imagine. But I don't remember the first time I cut anyone's hair. I remember the first time I did highlights. I was 12, And the first time I did a perm, I was 13.
Wow.
But cutting hair, I was doing that way young. I don't even remember when.
Well, I gotta ask, because I think that every time I think of a hairstylist, I think, did you cut your Barbie's hair off?
Oh, yeah, and it doesn't grow back. Dang it. I still haven't seen the movie either. I want to go see the Barbie movie.
Oh, yeah,
But,
me too.
Yeah, it doesn't grow back.
Okay, so your mom was a stylist, so did you get in trouble for cutting your Barbie hair?
No,
Oh.
I actually have been able to have purple in my hair all my life. I mean, as long as I can remember, my mom would let me color my hair and do whatever I wanted to with it.
That's kind of
But
fun.
with the Barbies, that's all I did with them is mess with their hair and then I put them back away. I never really played around with them. But I
Never
just
put
did
food coloring in their hair?
Oh, did I? No, Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid?
Yep,
Yep.
I did some Kool-Aid. That was messy.
I'm sure. What color was the first dye that you remember that you did? Do you remember what color
Purple.
it was? It was purple?
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
How about that?
You never know what our experiences are going to bring to us when we're a child and what we go through. And when I was growing up, I did a lot of animals, but you never. But when you're brought up in the hairstyling industry, you got to see all the styles progress through the years. But I'm telling you, a shampoo girl at 12 in the 60s was a lot of work. I'm going to tell you, that just mentally gives me a lot of work. Because, I mean, when I had my hair teased and done up and sprayed back in my other career, and it was like you couldn't move it. It took like washing it 3 times to get that stuff out of my hair. And I was like, this is a lot of work. I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm sure it's not healthy for the hair.
Well, come to me. I will shampoo it for you.
Yes, that makes it a lot easier. Just get it washed so you don't have to do any of that other stuff. But you can make appointments on your website.
Yes, I have a booking site. It's holysnip.glossgenius.com, and you can see the schedule, see what time and day works for you, and go ahead and set up your profile, and you're good to go. You get notifications as to when your appointment is, and everything is very easy.
Yeah, easily automated.
Yeah, if you're up at 2:30 in the morning and you need to make an appointment, bam.
You're like, I gotta cut my hair off. I gotta see when, and just make the appointment and show up, and she will take care of you. So say that website again for me.
It's holysnip.glossgenius.com.
You're the genius?
Ah.
Yeah.
No, it's just the people who host the site.
Oh.
Gloss Genius.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so everything ends in Gloss Genius. So holysnip.glossgenius.com.
Don't you have an Instagram and Facebook and all that too? Or no, not yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
I have my personal Facebook. You can look me up under Leilani Ferreira. I sometimes post my work.
But nothing of the other stuff?
No, I have the app. I have the Instagram and the TikTok app on my phone. Does that count?
Yeah. So you can always hashtag Holy Snip, but I know you have lots of reviews that I see you post.
Yes, and when you go to my
clients.
site, excuse me for interrupting, yes, you can read all of the reviews.
Yeah.
There's many of them.
I love reading all the reviews. And ladies,
I'm honored.
She does an amazing job, and if you ever want to share pictures of where you get your hair cut, this would be the place. So you just come see her at Holy Snip, where love is in the hair.
Yes, it is.
And I want to thank you for joining us today, sharing your
Thank you for having
experiences, talking about your story as a domestic violence survivor, and being a safe place for women who have been going through. Anything that you want to talk about here stays here.
Yep. Or not talk about.
Or just be here and enjoy the experience.
Just be.
Just be, yes.
Yeah, just be. And know that you don't have to be scared.
No.
You don't have to be scared here.
No. And you have trustworthy hairstylists right at your disposal to pamper you.
That's
for your
right.
self-care, hair aware.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. And thank you today for joining us for Connecting Hearts today as well. Again, we have Leilani with Holy Snip, and I am Holly Reese with Warrior Defenders. hosting in for Margie today. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and always remember, self-care is important.
That's right.
You have been tuned in to Heart Radio, presented by Connecting Hearts Network, connecting women to resources and one another. Located at 3 Bullsboro Drive here in Noonan. Tune in next week for another episode of Heart Radio with Margie Conway.
Are you looking for that special gift this year for your daughter, sister, mother, grandmother, or best friend? Give the gift of safety and self-defense. Hi, I'm Holly Reese, founder of Warrior Defenders. As a certified tactical self-defense instructor, I specialize in women's self-defense. Classes are weekly, in person, or schedule a seminar. Online courses are available. You can shop self-defense products and tools on my website, warriordefenders.com. I'm here to help you customize the perfect gifts for the ones you love.
This is Margie from Connecting Hearts Network. I'd like you to take just a moment and listen to Linda Kirkpatrick explain to you what Family Patterns Matters is all about.
Family Patterns Matter works with youth and their families to help overcome barriers that prevent their success. We meet twice a month with mentoring, tutoring, teaching life skills, resilience, gratitude, and kindness. We also bring music and art therapy. Please visit our website at www.familypatternsmatter.org.
Hello, I'm Pina Payne with Contour Mortgage, and we're so excited. We have just moved to this new company, and we are located at 560 Noonan Crossing Bypass in Noonan, next to Art and Jake's. Of different kind of programs.
Shopping for insurance doesn't have to be stressful. I'm Christy, owner of Ellsworth Insurance, located here in Noonan, Georgia. We are an independent agency with access to multiple carriers for home, auto, life, health, and commercial insurance. We are your one-stop shop for your insurance needs. www.insurewithellsworth.com, 770-755-7053. We look forward to meeting you soon.
Moving is a big decision. Selling or buying a home in any market, but especially today's, can raise a lot of questions. Hi, I'm Amy with Killingsworth Realty. My husband Todd and I serve the Coweta and local area. Our purpose at our first meeting is to learn your goals, answer questions, and provide resources so that you can make the best decision for you and your family. 678-525-0047 to schedule a free consultation today to discuss your real estate needs. You don't have to do this alone.